Car shopping's confusing. A lot of different terms. Go to TrueCar.com. New or used cars. Save $3,000 off MSRP. Listen, we talk a lot of NBA. The last major NBA playoff upset, it's a marginal upset, was a 3 Denver losing to Golden State, and that was in 2013. 2014 also had Brooklyn beating Toronto as a 6-3, but they were both bad, so it didn't matter. Generally, unlike the NCAA tournament, which restarts tomorrow and Friday and Saturday, Sunday, when you have to beat somebody 4 times in 2 weeks, it's not about, you can have a really bad game. You can have 2 bad games. The officials can screw you in a game. It doesn't really matter. It's hard to beat a superior team 4 times in 2 weeks. I mean, LeBron doesn't even lose a first-round playoff series in the East. I don't think he's lost a game in like 5 years. So I thought this morning I just lay out, if this NBA season ended today and we started the playoffs, with all things considered, I'll just give you a rundown on what I think would happen. We'd start with the Western Conference, which is far deeper and better than the Eastern Conference. I mean, Portland and Utah are real good teams. I would have Houston's beaten Utah 4 times this year. They beat them. Rudy Gobert's healthy. They can create some matchup problems, but Houston's a far better team. Oklahoma City would beat New Orleans. I think they have their issues. They don't shoot threes particularly well, and Westbrook can get very tunnel vision, but OKC would beat New Orleans. Listen, Portland right now is playing great basketball. I watched them for 2 hours last night. San Antonio's a mess. We don't know what's up with Kawhi Leonard. I would take Portland to make fairly quick work of San Antonio. Jimmy Butler's not back for the T-Wolves yet. If he does come back, he's got to get in game shape and the chemistry. Golden State's still a better team, although they could be vulnerable to lose road game here. Then I'd have Golden State beating Portland. Again, I think Portland could beat Golden State in a game. They're not going to do like last year and sweep through the West. There's a fatigue factor. There's an injury factor. And I frankly think Portland's a pretty interesting team. And then Houston, I think, would fly through Oklahoma City. I don't think that's a particularly great matchup in the postseason. It'll be half-court basketball. And I think between Harden and Chris Paul, that is a lethal half-court combination of veteran points. And then I think Golden State finishes off Houston. And again, I think that's a fairly quick series. I think Houston's a poor man's version of Golden State. Let's go to the Eastern Conference, where now Boston doesn't have Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving's hurt, but Kyrie would be back for the playoffs. And Kyrie is still, is a world-class point guard. So if you go to the Eastern Conference playoffs, Toronto will dispose quickly of Milwaukee. That could be a sweep. Indiana-Washington. Indiana's won 7 of 10, and John Wall's still not playing for the Wizards. So I would take in a very interesting long series the Pacers. Cleveland beats Philadelphia. The Sixers, I don't think, again, in playoff basketball, I get a veteran team, home court advantage, Cleveland, with LeBron James. Embiid's playing 30 minutes a night. LeBron's playing 42. I'd take Cleveland in 5. Boston, Miami. I think that's a fairly interesting series. If Kyrie Irving's not at 100%, Boston's way better defensively, so I'd get a Celtics the edge. Then I think Cleveland, again, I just think Boston will depend on Jason Tatum, and LeBron and Kevin Love and Jeff Green and veterans will dispose of Boston in 5 games, maybe 6. Toronto mops up on Indiana, which comes out of their series with Washington fatigue. And then it's Toronto and Cleveland, and I would take Cleveland. Now, I do think, again, I think Cleveland's going to lose a game to Boston. I think Cleveland's going to lose a game to Philadelphia. It's not going to be like last year. And I think Cleveland's going to have a real battle on their hands with Toronto. But I think it's Cleveland-Golden State again in the finals, where I think Golden State sweeps them. That's just playing around here, what I think is going to happen in the playoffs. There you go. Christine with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herdline News.
Well, speaking of the NBA playoffs, the Raptors are currently at the top of the Eastern Conference, and they happen to play the Cavs tonight. So that has inspired LeBron to start talking about the Raptors and why they are so good. And he's saying that they're better because they don't have to deal with so many injuries.
They're a better team, and I think they're better teams because they was able to re-sign Lowry and re-sign DeRozan. They kept that nucleus together. They're in a better place than we are right now because they've had more consistency. And they've had, their guys in the lineup for the majority of the year. So, they know what they want to accomplish. They know who they are at this point in the season. And, obviously you guys know about us. We're still trying to figure that out.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
also,
fair.
Keeping a nucleus together is really so important, isn't it? Maybe you want to keep your top guys together.
It is the regular
Chemistry.
season. I would just say it is. Toronto's been really impressive in multiple regular seasons. It's a nice story, though. I mean, their fans are great. They got really good backcourt. They're fun to watch.
Yeah, I don't think that they're going to make it out of the East. They're great. It's just interesting.
It'll be a good game tonight, actually.
You gonna watch that one?
Yeah.
Or are you gonna watch?
No, I'll watch a lot of
the
that tonight.
Sixers?
No, I'll watch a lot of that. Oh, God, no. Sixers game's not on TV.
Well, yes, it is. Every game's on TV. If you have
Well,
League Pass.
yeah, I know. Actually, I have that. I'm going to watch. Sixers are going to win by 30. I'm going to watch the Cavs Raptors tonight.
You're not gonna watch your fate.
Well, I know I'm going
tomorrow?
to lose the bet. I've succumbed to the Sixers trance. I don't know what's happening to me.
This is great. Isaiah Thomas is saying now that he likes the Lakers. He likes the situation that he's in, the system, and the coaching staff. So he's going to keep his options open, but he has no complaints since he's been in a Laker uniform. Now, if he were to stay with the Lakers, where does that put your LeBronzometer at?
Yeah, he's not staying with the Lakers. There's zero chance they're keeping him. But you know what?
Especially if they want LeBron.
Yeah, but you know what? He's shown off some. He scored some points. Somebody's going to pay him some money. I want to see him do well. I don't think good teams are going to go after him. You're not going to see a Toronto, a Houston, a San Antonio,
I know,
Portland.
you said that.
He's going to go to a bottom 4 team like a Memphis. He'll sell some tickets. He'll ignite it. He's a good story. He's a good player. But the good teams will pass.
And finally, do you know what esports was valued at last year?
No.
Competitive video gaming.
Okay, no.
$493 million.
Oh, boy.
Do you know what it's projected to be valued at by 2020?
$2 billion.
$1.5 billion. Are you still saying that you're not into the whole esports thing, or are you starting to buy in a little?
No. It's a thing.
Okay.
It's not my thing, but it's a thing.
It should be your thing. And Arlington, Texas agrees. So they already have so many stadiums, AT&T Stadium, Globe Life Park, Six Flags, College Park Center, and they're making the new baseball stadium, Globe Life Field, in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Now they are opening another new stadium, which will be the permanent home for esports, and it will be the largest,
Wow.
the 1,000-seat esports stadium in Arlington, and it will be very technologically advanced
Listen.
and cool.
Listen, my son would go to that, no question.
I would go to that. Can I go to the grand opening? I think it's opening in the fall. I would love to be there.
All right, you can do a live report for us.
I will work for you. I will do live shots. I will host whatever you need me to do. And, you know, Mark Cuban is real close to there, too.
Yeah.
He's very into esports. I'm sure he'll have something to do with this. But just look at this esports stuff growing.
Nerds. Congrats, nerds.
Congrats, nerds. Let me be one of your nerds.
Christine with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Line News.
Number 1 pick, Sam Darnold. That's what we all think. Joel Klatt was at his pro day.